So the two most viewed videos on my channel right now are a video featuring Claybro and a video featuring Boss Blunts. It's also kind of ironic or fitting, or I don't know, just makes sense, I guess, that these two videos are among the lowest like to dislike ratio of any of my videos, and they also have a lot of comments too, which is mostly apes saying how I'm a shill or whatever. You know, honestly, I don't pay attention to those comments because I'm not a shill. In fact, you know, I'm fact checking these guys. I'm not coming at it from either side, really. I just want to know what the truth is. I want to know if what they're saying is true. I want to verify it independently and, you know, present my findings. That's all I'm interested in. It just so happens that most of the time these insane catalysts cannot be verified, or they're actively proven wrong. And that's not my fault. I'm just working with what I'm given here. So, you know, these are not my ideas. They just don't seem to work out. And that's interesting, you know, and I could speculate on why that is, but, you know, nobody's interested in that. But this was also back in December of last year, early January this year. So I would say that the sentiment has changed a little bit, no? From then to now, maybe. I mean, it hasn't for me. I'm just going along, you know, doing my thing. But whatever. So I thought it'd be interesting to revisit Boss Blunts, especially because he has this groundbreaking DD that's just come out. Did you guys see this? Executive orders leading to margin calls are the reason AMC stock ran in January and June 2021, and why it will run again in the future if complete market collapse doesn't force shorts to cover first. Next stop, June 3rd, 2022. So right off the bat, the notion that there'll be another major run-up on June 3rd, I mean, 1 year, almost to the day that it did in 2021, that's just, okay, fine. All right, we'll see where the data goes. So then I'm like, I want to look at these images here and see what we've got, do some fact checking. So click on it, and it turns out that this is one big image, which is kind of odd. Now, there's no links to anything either in the quote-unquote DD, so that's also another strike. But hey, I'm working with what I'm given here. So just started here at the beginning because this is kind of a mess. I mean, look, it's just cobbled together, random images, Robinhood screenshots. I mean, what is this? This is amateur. Ken Griffin memes, okay. Just misinformation about Robinhood, asserting the same conspiracy theories, but this appears to actually be a document. So this is Executive Order 13959 of November 12th, 2020. Okay, so I looked that up and found that, yeah, it was signed by Trump on November 12th, 2020. Just pulled up the Wikipedia page for it and found that it's essentially no longer in force since its first 5 paragraphs, the key substantive provisions, were superseded by Executive Order 14032, signed by Biden on June 3rd. 2021. So, of course, I clicked on this 14032 and brought up its page, Executive Order 14032, addressing the threat from securities investments that finance certain companies of the People's Republic of China, was an executive order signed by Biden on June 3rd, 2021. The order came into effect on August 2nd, 2021. Okay. So then, we can look at the actual order itself, go back to the original one here. So this executive order prohibits all U.S. investors, institutional and retail investors alike, from purchasing or investing in securities of companies identified by the U.S. government as, quote, communist Chinese military companies. Okay? A, quote, communist Chinese military company is any company that the U.S. Department of Defense has identified pursuant to Section 1237 of the National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year 1999. The prohibition came into effect on January 11th, 2021. On December 28th, 2020, guidance on the executive order was published clarifying that the order included subsidiaries of the relevant companies. On January 13th, 2021, Trump strengthened the executive order's requirements by issuing Executive Order 13974, amending Executive Order 13959, addressing the threat from securities, blah, 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 which mandated divestment by November 11th, 2021. So the list of affected companies, initially 31 companies were identified, including 2 companies whose shares were traded on U.S. exchanges. These include companies in aerospace, shipbuilding, construction, technology, and communication industries. And here's a list. Then on December 3rd, 2020, the DoD designated 4 additional companies. And then on January 14th, they designated 9 additional companies, so bringing the total to 44, okay? So then we have this delistings as a consequence of the executive order. The New York Stock Exchange in January ended trading of shares in China Mobile, China Telecom, China Unicom, and announced in late February that trading in CNOOC would also cease on March 9th, 2021, okay? But I'm really just, at a loss here to figure out how this, which specifically is prohibiting U.S. investors from purchasing or investing in securities of companies identified by the government as communist Chinese military companies, how this has anything to do with AMC. How does this have anything to do with AMC? What's the connection? I don't get it. So there's a comment that says, for anyone wondering, it's about banning Chinese bonds. The administration extending it twice already, perhaps coincidentally, right before each run-up. This demonstrates how hedge funds are using Chinese bonds as collateral. Hence the DD on China's Evergrande. I don't get that from this at all. Not sure where they're getting that connection from. And there's no indication that I've seen that indicates that the hedge funds are using Chinese bonds as collateral on AMC short positions. I mean, that seems pretty far-fetched. But, I mean, maybe it's true, but I haven't seen the evidence for it. So I can't assume that it's true. That's not how it works. Loan repayment being paused until September. I don't know what that refers to. Loan repayment. They can't afford those to default because it's also served as collateral. And then well said. It's not really well said. This seems to be related to the Evergrande situation, which coincidentally was the subject of the last video I did on Boss Blunts. So you go figure. But as far as I can tell, this is a bunch of nonsense. It's a fake catalyst, another fake catalyst. Really, it's another fake catalyst. He's showing all these screenshots from Robinhood, which, why would you use Robinhood? Everybody hates Robinhood. Of all these price run-ups on June 3rd, okay, all these stocks. Oh, wow, all these stocks, it must be. And then randomly we have all these Citadel regulatory actions from FINRA right here. This is from the detailed report on the FINRA broker check. But, this is all just speculative association. Putting all this stuff next to each other like this, including these memes, you give yourself away as an amateur, dude. Like, seriously. This is not research. This is just a meme. That's all it is. It's just a meme, okay? If it were research, you would have citations. You would have actual points. You'd be synthesizing the information and putting it together in a way that makes sense and makes the links between the entities clear and makes it easy for anybody to go check the primary sources and come to the same conclusion that you come to. But no, it's just a cobbled together mess put together by somebody who has no idea how to do coherent research, no idea how to present things professionally, and really no desire to do so because you don't need to with this community. You don't need to. All you have to do is create something like this that in the same breath, which in the same huge image here, which is incredibly clunky to deal with, so I'm not going to click on it again, you have denigration of Robinhood here, talking about how they are, literally cheating people and lying under oath, and you're using their charts to show, this supposed manipulation. First of all, that's a little bit hypocritical. Why would you use their charts? But beyond that, the Robinhood thing has been shown to be legal. It was legal. It was in their terms of service. You didn't like it? Yeah, I understand that you didn't like it. But there's a lot of things that I don't like that are perfectly legal, that are perfectly acceptable in society in terms of the law that I don't like. You just have to deal with it, man. Like, seriously, you just have to deal with it. Don't use the platform. If you don't like it, don't use it. But why are you still using it? It's just weird, right? But beyond that, I mean, I guess people in this community take this guy seriously, but let me just be clear here. Boss Blunts is a total joke. He's a total joke. And really, this DD says nothing. It says nothing. It proves nothing. It's just another example of these grifter, influencer, charlatans promoting endless nonsense catalysts in order to inspire and promulgate hope in a community of uninformed investors that eats this stuff right out of their hands. That's all it is. So I suggest, this is just me here, I suggest that you demand the proof. Where are the links? I need to see the actual sources. I need to know how you came to this conclusion. I need to be able to come to the same conclusion myself. Anything else? Anything less than that? It's unacceptable. Have a good night. Catch you later.
Jumped on stage, knocked me down, you made me horny, I drug you around, put you in the van, took you to the tail, on the way there you was texting on your cell, you jumped out the van before I got the room, hopped in the car with your girl and went zoom, you danced with girls like a freak, you promised me a threesome last week, another girl, it's hard to find, what about, what's her name, she changed her mind, so many people coming through, I can't get time alone with you, at least I had privacy, single and po, with you I can't even jack off no more. You full of shit, full of shit, full of shit.